All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan from this beautiful sunburnt country we call Australia, the land down under. I have said for the longest time that whatever happens in Britain and America eventually ends up happening in Australia. Someone actually said in one of my comments that his grandmother used to say that when America and Britain catch cold, then Australia sneezes. I somewhat agree with that. But I've been saying that whatever's happening in Britain and America is going to end up happening in Australia, albeit 5-6 years later. But we are in that time frame right now. But it looks like Australia has joined the race to destroy its own culture at the expense of other cultures. I don't know if the Fabian Society is behind that or some people sitting on long tables behind that, because there's another side to it. A lot of people to become these morally virtuous people who want to remove inequality. They want to create equity. They want to bring all human beings to the same level, which Gassard calls suicidal empathy. But there is another side to it. Some people believe that there is no suicidal empathy because these people at the top, they don't care about anyone. And there is a lot of truth to it. And look, I'd be lying if I said that all of this sounds hogwash or baloney, as Americans like to call, or bullshit, as we like to call in Australia. Because when you look at all these proponents of globalism, socialist values, taxing the rich, blah, blah, when you look at all these people, start from America, Bernie Sanders, multi-millionaire, Mamdani, the new poster boy of socialism, is destroying New York. I saw a video. Let me show you this video. This is hilarious. Look at this. New Yorkers are finding out. I'm sorry. I can't help it. The problem with socialists and communists is that they eventually run out of other people's money.
Mayor Mamdani, the Bronx is horrible.
Really?
It's a mess over here. You can't get to all streets, but you need to get to some over here in the Bronx. It's a fucking mess.
Ooh. What did you think is going to happen, huh? Billionaires are going to pay you tax? Is that what you thought is going to happen?
I did a video about Mamdani not cleaning up the trash in New York, and people were like, oh, it's because of city snow, because of ice. Do you see this? This is because of nothing. Look, this is the Great Wall of New York City trash. This is now a national landmark, actually. You can't even see that there is a road on the opposite side of this. I'm about 6 feet tall. Look at this. This is my height. At the very least, I'll give it to Mamdani. They separated the recycles and the wall of trash. So you have a nice wall of recycles here and a beautiful wall of trash here. This is insane.
We saw what happened to one of our other great cities, London. And look, socialism, communism kills everything. This is what happens when you give a job to a loser socialist. He had never held a job up until this point. And you guys gave him the keys to one of the most important cities in the world. Look at this. He told you, defund the police. And look how the NYPD is being treated in New York. Have a look at this. And he just laughed it off.
Do you agree with Commissioner Tisch that what happened in Washington Square Park with the snowballs was criminal? And how can you take steps to prevent something like this doesn't happen again?
So I've seen videos of kids throwing snowballs at members of the NYPD in Washington Square Park. And first, I want to say that officers have been on the front line of helping our city respond to this blizzard. They have been keeping New Yorkers safe, and they have...
That's assault. This is what happens when you disrespect our law enforcement agencies. This is the reason why when you look at all these blue states, all these communist socialist states, we saw that happen right here in Australia. The culture changed. Victoria, my generation, we used to fear the police. We used to respect them. Yeah, they'll pull us over. They'll give us a lecture. Deep down inside, we'll hate it. But now I understand why that barrier between law enforcement agencies and civilians must always be maintained. Because if you don't respect and fear the police, then who's going to enforce the law? We grew up watching movies where NYPD will pistol whip someone. There will be good cops and bad cops. Look at them. They've become a joke. Why? Because of this commie.
Also been at the heart of our efforts of digging New Yorkers out of these kinds of conditions and ensuring that our ambulances, our MTA buses can keep functioning across
They're getting pelted. Look at them. They're getting pelted.
the city. They and our entire city workforce deserve to be treated with respect.
Oh.
The only person in our city's workforce who deserves to be treated with a snowball is me.
What? Was that a joke or something?
In our city's workforce who deserves to be treated with a snowball is me.
I would really love to see people pepper him with snowballs. Watch him take his words back. Look at this guy. He got screwed. This officer got a snowball right in his eye. You can lace those snowballs with anything, with piss, with feces, with, I don't know, with some dangerous liquid or something. This is what happens when you give the keys to communists. Every socialist, lefty city that you look at, it always ends up looking like this. Always. People don't fear the police in Victoria anymore. We used to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but we don't anymore. I know a police officer, he says that we have all the tactics to bring these protesters in control, but the directive that we get from the very top comes from the government. And we have Labour government in Australia, which we're going to talk about. Anyway, this guy's a loser, so screw him.